I'm on the subways. I'm on the subways a lot. It's horrible. But let's shift gears away from the subways because yesterday I was made aware of, in the wee hours of the morning, of a segment that Arthur Idala had done with Joe Borelli, the minority leader of the city council, who is term limited, so he can only serve another year. And it was on Arthur Idala's show on AM 970, The Answer, a place I used to be 4 years of my life I'll never get back. But I was surprised. I was really pleasantly surprised that as they were talking about the mayoral race, remember, Artie Idala, I've clashed with on the Sid Rosenberg show. He was a hardcore Eric Adams supporter, hardcore, man who single-handedly destroyed the city that we love, Bill de Blasio, twice, and is a Cuomo supporter, no doubt. He's pretty much thrown Eric Adams under the bus. I think he reads the tea leaves and recognizes that Eric Adams has burnt his bridge with the Democrats, especially in the Tucker Carlson interview. It's like he showed up with a pail of gasoline and a match and burnt down the Democratic bridge. So if he's got life politically, it's got to be as a Republican. I mean, this is what he originally was, ladies and gentlemen. First, he was a follower of Scooey Louis Farrakhan. Then he became a Republican. Then he became a Democrat. And now it seems he is on this trek. If he wants to get reelected, there's only one place that he can go, and that's the Republican Party, and try to get on the Republican line and run in a Republican primary. And Arthur Idala, the Democrat, hardcore Democrat, and Joe Borelli, hardcore Republican, discussed it and paid me the highest compliment that has ever been paid to me in 70 years of my life. It brought me to tears, and I'll explain.
It's an uphill battle for a Republican to win in the city of New York. There's usually exigent circumstances. Do you think there's any likelihood? I mean, you're a big wig in the Republican Party in the city of New York. You're the head of the Republican leadership or the Republican caucus, whatever it's called, in the city council. Do you think this is something that's feasible, or is it just Eric Adams having some fun?
No, he loses to Curtis Sliwa. And the question, therefore, is, can Curtis Sliwa, can he be bought? If he can be bought, then yeah, maybe he gets the Republican line, meaning Eric Adams gets the Republican line. If Curtis Sliwa can't be bought to get out of the race, then it doesn't matter what Eric Adams does because he will lose a primary to Curtis Sliwa.
Curtis Sliwa definitely can't be bought. That guy who sleep on a couch in ABC radio and before he, that you say a lot of things about Curtis, but money is not his god.
That's my point. I doubt Curtis gets out of the race. So, and if he does, it'll only be under strange circumstances, but I just doubt he's going to do that.
I very much agree with you.
That was the highest compliment I've ever been paid. My father, Chester, no longer with us, and my mother, Francesca, they would sit me around the kitchen table and they would tell me a few things that stuck with me and stuck with my two sisters, Alita and Maria. And they would say, children, do good things and good things will happen in return. Don't ask when, where, or how. Do it because it's the right thing to do. And I got to tell you, there were many times I had doubts, like anything good would ever happen. Like all people, I had some pretty tough times. But that's what life is about. But it always came true, as my parents had said, do good things, and good things will happen. Don't ask when, why, or how. And then I remember over and over my father would add on to that, and specifically he would say to me, Curtis, you're the kind of personality that some people are not going to like because you get right into people's faces. You don't stand down, and he's right. He goes, some people are not going to like you, other people are going to like you. Some people are going to disagree with you. Boy, that happens a lot, and some people are going to agree with you. But don't ever let anybody buy you out, son. Don't ever let anybody buy you out. And I know there are people in New York City, men and women of wealth, equity, most of which they've earned the hard way. Some of them who were born on third base and they inherited it. It never worked a day in their life, and they have calluses on their tuchus and not on their hands. But there is a prevalent theory out there that everyone has a price. Anybody can be bought. The billionaire mayor, Michael Bloomberg, always believed it, said it on a regular basis to his colleagues, to others, that anybody can be bought. Just name the price. And I always hearken back to what my mother, Francesca, and my father told me, and my sisters at that table in our kitchen, is that have your convictions. People will disagree. People will not like you, certainly with me, but don't ever sell out. Don't ever allow yourself to be bought out. So for two guys that, hey, I've had conflict with many times, Arthur Aidala, the long-term Democrat, Joe Borelli, long-term Republican, for both of them to come to the same conclusion that Eric Adams cannot beat me in a Republican primary, he's right. Because that's in the outer boroughs. He can't beat me out there. But that also, if they try to buy me, if they try to offer me something that I can't refuse to get out, you can't buy Sliwa out. God bless you both guys. I know my mom and dad, when they heard that up in heaven, it made them cry. It made me cry, that's for sure.